Hi everyone, it's me, Kate, Victorian retriever, linguist, founder from Lingua and Lingua Plus. And you know that you can call me Kate or Catherine in English. And if you don't know why, go and check out the video on why to change names in foreign languages. And today I'm going to talk with you about immersion. What is it? Linguistic, cultural immersion, especially if you're learning a language and you are at home and you can't go to that country, maybe, right now during language learning. I've had this quite a lot as a question on students coming to Lingua. They would be saying, all right, so I want to learn online right now because I'm very busy with studies or with work, but later on I would like to go actually, yeah, to get immersed. And I think it's a great strategy. I did this myself when I would learn a language while I would be somewhere studying, working, and then I would go and immerse myself already at a high level, like at a level of one, B2, where I could already communicate quite well and just dive into culture. But what happens when you're still at early stages and you would like to surround yourself by those sounds, images, symbols, what to do? All right. So first of all, if you're determined to pick up a new language and you know why you'd like to do it, there are certain say goals that you're identified for yourself, then you definitely should choose everything that you love in this language. What I mean by everything that you love, for instance, podcasts, YouTube channels, radio stations, books, Instagram accounts, Twitter accounts, anything. See, like social media right now is a big part of our life. To find in social media whom to follow, who watch, listen to, and then definitely if you have favorite movies, books, yeah, authors, music, watch, read, listen to it in the target language. I think it's beautiful because it helps a lot to connect not only your motivation with language learning, so kind of serving as an insurance that you won't give up, but it's also connecting your emotions, like your real emotions, with that language. And what I mean, like real emotions, I've talked quite substantially about emotions and language learning and also how to express emotions in our languages. Um, One of the disadvantages of formal learning currently is that it's completely disconnected from our emotions. Only recently, I've started seeing how mindfulness, mental health has been incorporated in certain school systems, which is great. When it comes to language learning, language has been treated as a separate cognitive ability. It's not true. It's a psychological ability, psychological phenomenon, let's say, when Gucker said that. It's a much more complex, multidimensional phenomenon in a way that influences not only our cognitive abilities and ability yet to communicate with other people and other cultures, but it influences internal and external circumstances of our lives, including worldviews, beliefs, um, systems of values, and so on. It expands us. And what it means that when you connect your emotions to the language, you memorize also much better. And then it means that you can express, or you start learning to express emotions in that language. It means that you may start feeling in that language. It's things that we love, strongly dislike, cause very strong emotions in us. And when we manage to tie up those emotions to the languages we learn, we speak, we suddenly find ourselves in that position where we can express our emotions in different ways. Like imagine you're an artist and the artist can express emotions so many different ways. I know myself, or like with my personal experiences, can say that I may write a poem, poetry, or play some music, piano, or sing, or paint. And imagine that you have this palette of different languages and you can express emotions in all these different languages, which is again beautiful because it expands your inner world, your personality. So therefore, when you're getting immersed, so you're trying to create this immersive experience, make sure that you incorporate certain elements from that culture that would invoke in you strong emotions, that you can connect to those emotions. And I'm saying more positive emotions because first, yeah, we want to connect with love, with gratitude, right? Something really good that can sustain us. And then, of course, yeah, the negative emotions, and they're important, and it's good to include them, like an inside out, right? Um, but when you're working then with that creative part of art, there what happens, you start connecting those emotions to those languages, um, and it's much easier for you to process certain information. It's where you may also start thinking in that language. So some people just say, oh, well, how to start thinking in language? I would say that when you're surrounding yourself with information in your target language, listening, watching, reading, there your brain starts shifting and starts processing certain information in the language, especially if you start recognizing certain sounds, words, and then phrases and meaning behind all of them. And when you're connected with emotions, with certain impressions, experiences, it glues all this information, and it's much easier then for you to connect to the language and culture, right? Or, and retrieve the information. What's also beautiful, and if you're already multilingual, you may know this, that when you live a certain event, especially strong emotions in a certain language, let's say your target language, your memory, your memory, if you are living this in the target language, your memory will code it in that language. And my life is not like fragmented, but my life has different periods of time where my memories are in a certain language or certain languages. And I at first I didn't pay attention to it, but when I started noticing, I said, huh, that's true. Yes, I remember those dialogues, right? Or certain emotions, or certain thoughts, um, something that was happening specifically in that language, even though some memories, as we know, can come with pictures, right? Clips. However, if you manage to create certain memories, experiences in the target language, even if you are in your home country, that's where you start connecting everything, your memory, right? Cognitive abilities, emotional abilities, psychological abilities, and so on and so forth. That's how you start creating that foundation for your, say, new personality or identity in that language. And what happens is that the more you dive into, say, some information about philosophy of the culture, system of values, beliefs, worldviews, the more you start understanding them, and this we versus them disappears because part of your identity also starts kind of gluing, yeah, with them, attaching to that culture. And you must watch out when you go deep whether there are certain conflictive thoughts or maybe conflicts between your original system of values and foreign system of values, and then how you can navigate that. The deeper you go, the more you feel associated with that culture or speaker of that culture, bearer of that culture, or guardian of the culture. Um, the easier it gets to understand certain messages, right? Read between the lines. And when finally you go from your home country to the country of target language to get completely, fully immersed into the culture, you will be prepared. Because then what happens is that you get there, especially if you're staying with the locals, so you live in this host family, you start observing like an anthropologist or theater actor, actress. You start observing locals, and you start observing firsthand the rituals, the routine. Like it's everyday life, everyday routine, but in fact, those are rituals. And you start picking up on those rituals. And as soon as you start picking up on those rituals, you get fully immersed, like there. And that's beautiful. is I feel that we pay now too little attention language learning to prosody. Prosody meaning everything beyond, well, pronunciation, yeah, like spoken words, um, also pitch, yeah, so part of your phonetics, and also all our body language and gestures. We need to learn how to pick up the target, so the target body language of the target language, right? And then certainly all this inner kind of inner worlds, yeah, dimensions, like inner dimensions of worldviews, then indeed you start feeling more and more immersed. So I would say the immersion, in fact, happens not only outside but also inside. If you land a new worldview in, it will be much easier than to fit in when you get culturally immersed outside. Four, take your notes, see what works for you, because what works for me may not work for you. You need to try it out. You need to see how well you can adjust to new cultures. Maybe you're an introvert and it's much harder for you. Like there's so many different ways, right? But this is just one of them that may be useful for you. And if you've experienced some of those, well, situations in life here, uh, let us know, share in comments, and also like and subscribe. And that's been me, Katrina Mativa, or Kate, Catherine. And I'll see you next videos. See you. Bye.